Are you ready to expand your awareness and experience the wonder nestled within our local community? Welcome to the show, where we reach into the shadows to discover the unsung heroes among us and bring them into the local spotlight. Hi, welcome to Local Spotlight. My name is Zeno Rossetti, and this is Joanne Tubbs, a local here in Northwest Indiana, talking about her entrepreneur story. Let's talk about your dreams. What are your dreams still?
My dreams is to share people knowledge, my success stories, my failures, and help people. I want to help people so much. I want to help children. I've been subbing, and the joy of sharing with these children, teaching them as adults and interacting with them is awesome.
Can you think of one cool story when you have subbed where you saw the difference that you made? Is there anybody that stands out?
Well, yes, because now they call me Mama Tubbs.
Okay.
My daughter Patty teaches there too, and she's a home ec teacher, and I'm the sub. And when I first meet them, I say to them, I says, I'm your sub today, and my daughter is the home ec teacher, Mrs. Tubbs, but I'm Mama Tubbs. You call me Mama Tubbs, and I'm the cuter one, the smarter one, and the most awesome one. And so they just laugh, and they go down the hall, they say thank you, and they beg for me to be their sub, and they love my stories, and they very much so, because there's a lot of children there that truly need support, personal support of encouragement. The most I see is a lack of encouragement of these kids.
Is there one individual that you could say, I remember this one time when I was talking with this person, maybe you saw a light bulb go on or they had an aha moment?
Oh, several times. And one of the things I say is when the classes are rowdy, I says, I'm all excited. All you troublemakers over there, you're making so much noise, but I love you because you're going to be the best salespeople in the world. I need you to sell. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
They're open. They love people. And all you quiet people, whatever money we make, it's your responsibility to take care of it. So you're the accountants, you're everything. You both have a place.
Yeah. That reminds me of I had a college professor once, and he waited until the very last class of our senior year, the very last class, on the very last day. And he says, now, I know you guys have all worked really hard to get good grades, but I'm going to tell you something. You A students are going to end up teaching the B students who work for the C students.
I love that.
And there does seem to be a theme. And maybe is it because entrepreneurs are by nature a little rebellious?
I think they're interesting people. They're anxious to know things. They're anxious to create things. I love the word create. They love to create, whether they know it or not, even as children. They love to create. We create emotional things, not only physical things, emotional. In their mind, they're dreamers. And when they dream and they see, but they also observe people. When you observe people, you see things that are available to you that you could possibly have. And then you try to hope to work towards that goal and learning. But watching people, good role models, is the best thing you could do.
What was the first business that you ever started?
I did everything. I babysat for people. Okay.
Was that the first one, babysitting?
Yes, I'll tell you another one. I actually scrubbed floors for a very wealthy woman. And she was so unique, she needed a toothbrush to clean the gravel in her bathroom, and I did it gladly.
And how old were you?
I was probably in second grade, third grade.
Second grade. So you were in second grade, which would have made you 7. So you were working scrubbing floors with a toothbrush at age 7. And today I meet people who are in their 20s and have never had a job. That's quite a contrast. So can you remember when you were scrubbing those was there did you feel the satisfaction of a clean job?
I was excited about being in her house. I was excited because she was very, loved etiquette. In fact, she was having a dinner party, And the dinner party, she was so proud that she was having flown in from out east maple syrup that just come out. I mean, now you could go anywhere and buy it. In those days, you couldn't. So
What do you mean it just came out? Like as a thing?
It just was able to pull the maple syrup out of the trees.
Okay.
And so she was so excited because they were flying in the syrup, and she was set for this fine dinner, this big formal dinner. Pancakes were being served. So that excited me. I love it.
Yeah.
I was never jealous of anybody. They were all role models of where I want to be, and I loved the experience.
What do you love about sales?
Well, sales is wonderful if you love your product. You first have to love your product. I mean, you don't just sell anything. You look at your product, get to know your product. If you really don't love your product, don't believe in it, you'll never succeed in the sales. But once you love it and you really know it, and you know where the competition is more, it goes over your competition, that's when you can sell to people because you know now they need it, why they need it, and you can explain why they need it. So you should have closure all the time. But if you go to the wrong people knocking on the door, you won't get sales.
What would you say to somebody who struggles with sales because I know that there's some people that they think, well, I don't really like sales because I don't like trying to strong arm and talk people into something that they don't really want to do, and I feel very uncomfortable doing that. For people that are uncomfortable with sales, what do you think, what belief or perspective do you think could shift in their mind?
Oh, it could absolutely in a minute.
What would you shift?
Totally. First of all, they're looking at the wrong product for them to sell. They're doing it for money. They're doing it because they need the money. They want a job. They're going to do it. You could sit and look at the yellow pages and say, oh, I want to be a salesman. I'll make money that way. But where should I go that I really will sell the item? So you don't just jump in. People make mistakes. Oh, that's a job. No, it's not a job. It's a career. And everything is a career.
You spent the bulk of your years in real estate.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
What was the bulk of your years? This is interesting.
I had many jobs.
Okay.
I created a management job, managing apartment buildings, 600 units, 200 units.
You said I created that job.
I created the company.
You created the company.
You look at a need, you go sell your service, and create the company.
So the step is find a need that excites you if you could fix it, fulfill it, and then go out and serve people.
Yes, and you'll naturally be able to fill it because you'll believe in what you're doing in creativity. God will give you creativity or of things or of people that come by you. It's amazing how you learn from that. I saw an ad in the paper. Somebody wanted a teacher. Well, I could no longer be a teacher in my life. I went to 13 schools. I barely got through school, but I did get through school and got a diploma. And I went to them. I said, I'm not a teacher, but I so impressed the person. He says, I would like to start a school in Maryville. Would you be interested? I said, absolutely, I would. So it was a post-secondary school where you taught accounting, bookkeeping, medical. And so I said yes. I went, and he said, as soon as you get me 10 students, I will start the school. Well, I got more than 10 students. I went to a realtor and asked if I could borrow his space, a room, and use that room as if it was my room, my office, and he let me gladly, because I told him, if you let me use the room when we buy a building, you'll be the realtor. So it's a trade. You trade for me, I trade for you. You give to me, I give to you.
Right.
So then I started recruiting and recruited people, many of them. And after the school started, there were several schools that started. And then I also started teaching dress for success, be professional, to motivate people.
It matters how we dress.
You know what? It is so crucial. I learned that early in life. In fact, I didn't have a lot of money to buy clothes. So someone told me, you go get a suit, put it on layaway, and you pay for it. When it's paid off, you get that, and you put on another suit on my way. In those days, there were a lot of layaway things. You did by layaway. So every time I accumulated my suit. And like I said, red is one of my favorite colors. One was hot button is red. And when you walk in a room, people have no idea that there are people there that might own businesses, might be hiring tomorrow, might be needing, and people like to hire people they're familiar with, even if it's 1 hour at a game, a baseball game, a football game. So I'm a firm believer in that. There is someone that's been brought in your arena.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're 10 years old, 15 years old, there's someone there for you.
And how do you find them?
If you believe in that and you keep your eyes and ears open, it will happen. That's all I can say. I don't even know how to explain any more than that. But see, if your mind is shut on that or you don't think that'll happen, it will not happen. It could be the craziest thing, someone sitting next to you. Do not be afraid to not love people and talk to people. Talk to strangers. Do not be afraid. Enjoy people. And you know, the bigger the success, the more challenging it's going to be there. So you can't be intimidated by that. And it can only be what you let it be. So yes, you're going to have issues with everything you do. There's nothing that don't. And you make mistakes. Mistakes, I tell my children, are the best thing you can do because now you know what not to do. And it's a way of you learning. If you never make mistakes, you're not growing. You're not moving forward. So, no, I would step anywhere and do anything because you know what? I wasn't afraid of failure. I wouldn't be upset with myself if I failed. It's okay. It's okay. I've been connected in so many ways. I couldn't even name them on so many things, but I learned from everything. And I learned from some of the best teachers. I worked for people that were the toughest people in the world to work for. Other people would not work for them. I would do whatever because I always learned techniques, knowledge, and everything. In fact, I told my girls, they went in the office one time, and I was moving desks around, cleaning the toilets, and I was the secretary. Why are you doing it? Because first of all, I work there. I want to be proud of it. Second of all, I want the owner to know what I'm doing to go to a higher level. And that's it. Don't. I always told them, don't take the. If you won't do the toilet, don't take the check.
So you got your real estate license, and then what was your first thing to with that new shiny certification? What'd you do?
Okay, I went to work for a company, and they started a brand new company. It was a really small mom and pop. There were 3 people, and I learned the trade because you really don't learn the trade in school. You do by experience. And because I've been in sales, I mean, I sold little things, big things, whatever. So because I was in sales, I knew that I was going to be in sales, and I did a very good job. And I also set up a system on how to do it, because if you think about a system on anything, and you lay in bed, it will go faster, and you'll learn it quicker. So then I did so well, a neighbor said to me, my God, why aren't you doing your own company? So then I thought I would. But remember when I started, women were not in real estate. I had one really big deal that I did. I was so proud of, and it was a foreign company that came in and bought a huge building in Munster, warehouse building. And when they had an open house and the newspapers came, everybody came, I couldn't be in the pictures. I couldn't be a part of it.
But that didn't stop you.
Absolutely not.
No, some people would put their feelings on signs and go pick it, but you said, hey, this is just the way that it is. Let's keep going.
Well, that was one of the things on my list that said I could do. Whether I was in front of the newspaper or not, it was something I proved I could do. So I'm saying right now, I don't care what level of education, what level of anything you have, even physical disabilities, you can find a niche for yourself and you can develop it if you love what you're doing.
How do you find what you love to do?
I tell the kids in high school right now, what do you want to do? They're not sure. Well, what do you think you want to do? One says, well, I'd like to be a veterinarian. I said, okay, so why don't you go to a veterinarian's place, say, I'll volunteer my time with you. I'll be there every Saturday for 3 or 4 hours. You'll build yourself in that environment. Let's say you want to do lawn care. You go talk to a lawn company. Give yourself free. It will never, the return will be bigger. I don't care how old you are. Everybody could use free people. And if they show you're anxious and willing, I don't care what age you are, you could create a future.
Isn't there something about crazy ideas being some of the best ideas?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's see if we can talk about that. Think about a crazy idea that turned out to be one of the best ideas.
Can I give you 2 examples
Yeah.
of not me, someone else? There is a gentleman that took black and white pictures, Burrell, Mr. Burrell. He took like wedding pictures.
Mhm.
And coloring machines came out. And he wanted to do color. And everybody said, no, no one's going to ever want a color picture. They're only going to want black and white. So he did whatever he had to do to buy the machine. He went to his local Catholic church and said, can I put the machine in the basement? I'll give you a percent of it, anything I do. And they said yes. So he went to Michigan. He became Kodak's biggest film purchaser ever. Kodak then did an exclusive with him and made him very successful. He, very, very wealthy person, very gracious person. He has given more wealth, but it was because he believed in that. And the thing of it is, I want these senior kids to know this, or young kids to know, you can start today. You can start today to open up your world.
Well, isn't that the only time that ever exists is right now anyway?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Now or never.
Start right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now or never. I've just known you for a short time, and I truly believe like you and feel there is a helpful spirit there. And there's so many people out there, but they're afraid to ask.
Yeah.
And the timid children, I said, why would you not go work for someone free? Then all of a sudden one day you're out of school and he offers you a job, or he gives you a reference for college or a reference.
Yeah.
Set yourself up. And if you don't like the first thing, you go to the second thing.
If that's the case, that you can really, no matter where you're at in a position in life, if you can really just think to yourself, if we take all these little lessons, 1, trust your impression, your intuition says, I think I might like to do this one day. And then you say, and then, like you said, be open to the people around you. I think I might like to do this one day, so I'm going to start looking for people that can maybe give me either some direct line to get that kind of experience or somebody who knows somebody to get that kind of experience. I'm just going to be open to that and watch. And then when that person shows up, you go, okay, hey, I would like to volunteer my time and do something. And then you see that where it goes. But really, if that's the case, then there's really nothing stopping anyone from accomplishing anything that they want.
You're right.
I mean, isn't that it? There's nobody that's in your way except yourself.
It's the law of life.
Yeah.
It's the law of life. Life, if you scuba dive, you can only go so far. If you do certain things, you follow the law of nature. You follow it or you get yourself in trouble. And people who ski, and there's a certain way you ski, and there's a certain way you do things. There's a law in nature. And there is a law in the human race nature that you can become whatever you want. I don't care what setback you have. My beginning years in school and life, I don't remember them. I literally don't remember by my choice. And I'm happy with everything, but I don't remember them. Because I went to 13 schools before I graduated. In the last 5 years, I was in one school. So anyway, the second, third grade, I was not able to learn the phonics, learn how to spell, how the sounds. I couldn't do it. And as time went on, I can't spell, even reading or anything I couldn't do. And my children tried to teach me, nobody can. It's far gone. So where I'm going with that is I started businesses and I wrote manuals. How do you write a manual if you can't spell? You look at other things. It's not that you're copying, you get a guideline. You go in the computer does spell check on everything. It's been doing that for years. And I had an English teacher that gave me a triple S. Because I could
what?
3 F's on spelling.
That's a mad F.
Now, if I went and memorized them, but after there were 20 words, I didn't want to memorize them anymore. I just accepted the 3 F's and I'm smiling and it's okay. It's the way of life. It's the way of life. So if you have handicaps of any type, which I do, And okay, I had a cousin come visit me recently and said, we're going to such and such restaurant. Boy, I'm really telling everything here. Go to such a restaurant. And she said, what was the name of that restaurant? I couldn't tell her because I can't pronounce it. So I said, I don't remember. She said, why don't you remember? I said, because I don't pronounce it. She said, let me help you. It's easy. No, I've just given up on all of that. I don't, So I'm telling you, I've done it without the knowledge of academic-wise. But I love some of my teachers. I love what I learned. Now I want to learn even more of that than I did before. What I'm just trying to say, I'm telling you, I believe there's no one that can be successful. You have to be willing to work. That's the first thing. If you're not willing to work, it's not a one day, I'm going to do it for a week. You have to set a goal. You have to really put it down.
If only there was one site that listed all the concerts, festivals, and every other fun event happening in Northwest Indiana. There is. Visit panoramanow.com. Plan on making memories that last. Local Spotlight has been brought to you by LiveXStudios.com.